Hey, good people, Michelle Gomez, host of the Networking with Michelle show. Welcome back, everyone. 100 Books in 100 Days. We are on book 5, Living Forward by Michael Hyatt. This is another book I've had for years. When this book came out, 2016, 17, if my memory serves me correctly, I was actually part of the book launch program Facebook group. I believe I got the book for free, if I'm not mistaken, and I could never get past the first chapter or the second chapter. And I got all of these resources with the book years ago, and I'm sure I still have them somewhere. But for whatever reason, I could not get past this book. And it's a great book. It is a great book. It's a very significant, simple book that everyone needs, right? And the reason why I say it's a great book, because this book talks about creating a life plan, right? Once again, we hear it all: business plan, marketing plan, networking plan. But what about a life plan? And with that, it talks about having continuous positive reinforcement and how do you want to be remembered, right? So it's like you have these two extremes: continuous positive reinforcement and how do you want to be remembered, and what are you doing in between that time, in between that space, hence living forward. At least that's my interpretation of it. So living forward will position you to make the most significant contribution to the world that you can. I cannot read my handwriting. All right. Living forward will position you to make the most significant contribution to the world that you can add the most value to those around you. All right. Living forward will position you to make the most significant contribution to the world in order for you to add the most value to those around you. Okay. And at the end of the day, that's what really life is about, right? It's a beautiful sentence that I butchered, but you get the point. It's a beautiful sentence. It's a beautiful value, a beautiful way to live your life. Okay. With the life plan, there's three things. You want to know: how do I want to be remembered? What are my priorities? And what are the action steps to get to those priorities? And they ask three powerful questions: how do I want to be remembered? What matters the most? And how can I get from here to there? Excuse me. How can I get from here to where I want to be? And that's it. Like, and I think this is when self-awareness comes into play, because we have these questions that bubble in our head and everything, but like, do we really take the time to answer those questions? Do we take the time to answer those questions in our head, let alone putting pen to paper, right? How do you want to be remembered? Like, what do you want people to say the day of your funeral when they get up? What do you want them to say about you? What matters the most? And it's easy to say family or friends, but I'm getting to the point where I need to say specific people, right? Like, earlier this week, I was thinking about creating a list. I don't know if I'm going to do it because obviously it becomes that real. But who do I want to be? Who will be priority in my life in 2020? And when I kind of know that I've been doing mental lists, because when I do that, I make a conscientious effort to reach out to that person, via phone and in person. And I make sure I have specific conversations with that individual that lets me know if I'm capable of helping them. And help can be just a listening ear, paying for a meal, speaking at an event. It's a range of things, right? But who are the people that would be priority in my life in 2020? And I remember I wanted to reach out to this one individual, like, to specifically meet with them this month to determine if they'll be a priority. And I was like, nah, I'm good. Nah, I'm good, right? Because our time just becomes very thin. And I was like, what's going to happen will happen. It'll happen in time. But I really do believe you have to make uh, an effort. We'll just leave it at that. We won't put no sugar on it. But you have to make an effort to deepen your relationships with certain people. And if you decide to help people, okay? And whatever you want to do personally, professionally, where are you now and where do you want to be? And what are those action steps in between, right? We all want to be successful, but what does that success look like? How does that value come across in our business and in our personal life? And then two more points. This was very, very important because this is something I've been struggling with. Mm, I think that like this year I've been struggling with people's perception of me, whatever, just because people have been telling me about myself, and I don't know how I feel about that sometimes. And it hasn't been bad things; it's just been a surprising thing. But in living forward, it says life cannot be compartmentalized, right? And I think I have definitely done that. I've done that knowing that it's not always the best because I feel like I'm naturally a private person. And with that privacy, it misconstrues people's perception of me, right? And then the second thing is life satisfaction correlates with job satisfaction, which makes perfect sense because we spend so much of our time at our job or in our business. So we want to make sure that we're satisfied at work because that's going to overflow into our life. And because if you're not happy at work, you're going to come home, whoever you're in a relationship with, best friend, partner, whatever the case may be, like you're probably going to be complaining to that person. And if you're doing that more than usual, you're not satisfied at work, therefore you're not satisfied at life or in life. So just be mindful of that. But that's living forward. I think it's a solid book. Great. Every book's a great book, right? It's going to be interesting what's going to make my top 10 or 20 list at the end of this. But it's a good book, right? And even if you don't purchase the book, I want to encourage you to ask and answer those three powerful questions. How do I want to be remembered? What matters the most? And how can I get from here to where I want to be? Create your life plan, right? Shout out to our sponsors. Let's Get Checked. At Home Wellness Testing. Go online. You can purchase any test you want. They will mail the test to you. Use the discount code GOMAYCARES for 20% off. They will mail the test to you. You receive it in less than a week. Take the test, mail it back, and you will get your results online within 2 to 5 business days. It's affordable, efficient, and effective. Also sign up for Stitcher Premium ad-free radio for as low as $4.99 a month. And I will have both of those links in the show notes. Also, if you want to purchase the book, you can check out the Amazon and the Audible link in the show notes as well. Remember, I believe in you, and a personal connection leads to an influential network. Thanks for networking with Michelle.